Okay, so you know in drama we used to do rubber chicken.
What was rubber chicken again?
So you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh God.
Welcome to Myths. I'm Matt Huss.
And I'm Dan Rhodes.
Whether you know about Theseus or you're revising your syllabus,
If you want tales with a bit of jest, or you just want to hear about incest.
what?
What? It's really interesting.
Welcome to Myths. Welcome to Myths.
It's Myths! Tonight's episode features Matthew the Machine Huss
Hi, I'm Matt the Machine Heart.
and Dan the Legend Rhodes. Hi, I'm Dan. I'm pretty cool. I'm a legend. Tonight's episode we talk about the Oresteia, in particular, some things that happen in it.
You're a natural presenter, aren't you, Dan?
Thank you, Matthew.
Dan actually said before this episode, off air, he mentioned how much he wanted to be a hospital radio DJ. But imagine you just doing that all the time, like, and Susan on the pregnancy ward.
Yeah.
She is losing. She is having a baby. I don't know.
Shout out to Dave at ICU on life support.
I see you, Dave.
Yeah, I see you, Dave. Stick with us.
Keep on pumping that.
I
hard,
turned the
doctor.
machine on and off and it didn't do anything.
And that's Karen on her way down to the morgue. See you there after
Yeah.
breakfast. She's a mortician, not.
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
not
yeah.
dead.
It's not dead.
But yeah, hello Dan, how are you?
I be good.
You be good?
I be good. Are you good?
Ah, good.
We both be good.
Both be good. And so what's new in the world of Dan Rhodes?
It rained earlier for like 5 seconds. That's pretty fun.
Dan doesn't have a very interesting life. All he does.
Earlier today on the drive from the train station, Matt asked me what my favourite type of weather was.
Well, it led to a very interesting discussion. What is your favourite type of weather, Dan?
I said it was that period of time in the spring, summer, maybe dusk around 4 to 6 p.m. Sky, red sky. Ooh, it's like 23, 24 degrees, slight breeze. Maybe it's been very hot during the day. It's now slightly cooler. It's like room temperature, but you can still be outside, shorts and t-shirts,
you know.
with a beer.
You know, just relaxing with your friends and family.
Yeah, or on your own, as Matt likes to call it.
Wow. Like, that's the kind of thought I would have for myself when you said it out loud. So it's kind of weird to be heckled by my own mind.
What was your favourite type of weather? You said when it rains, but you're indoors.
But, yeah, but like, when you have no intention of going outside.
Okay.
Whoa.
Tell you what I did used to like. You know when you're a kid? Do you remember those days?
No.
And no, I wasn't a kid either. I was actually born aged 15.
You actually, so your mum was giving birth, you go, I want to play video games.
Yeah, I was born aged 15, fully clothed, in school uniform.
Look, alright, I've got my packed lunch.
Yeah,
See you
it's like,
soon.
hey, Mum. Yeah, I got my backpack. My backpack was like the placenta. Is that
Oh,
weird?
God,
that was
that's
a weird image.
Hopefully you didn't have a piece of plastic stuck on you.
Yeah, what was I going to say?
How do we get here?
I was going to say that when I come back, I like the weather when you come back from school, and then the minute you get home from school, it starts to rain.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, dodge that bullet.
Usually in Yorkshire, it's actually the opposite way around. Because when you leave school, it rains, and then when you get home, it still rains.
You leave home in the dark, get back in the dark.
Yeah. And so, Dan and I have not run out of conversation, because, funnily enough, because although Dan didn't have a lot going on in his life, I have still got plenty of Edinburgh Fringe stories, and I think this is the last time we'll do this Edinburgh Fringe catch-up.
Yeah. Oh, what else happened to me today? Ripped my trousers, didn't I, playing football?
Well, by playing football, I mean...
Jumping in a ditch to get a football.
Well, it's not even a football, it's just a ball of air, isn't it?
A ball of air. Is that not what football is?
Metaphysically speaking, yes.
Isn't a tyre
Yeah,
just a
but
bit of rubble with some air in it? You can't just... Something has to have its own definition. You can't just say everything that's full of air.
My point being, it's as you described it, a floater.
It's a floater, one of those like really light, airy
Treat
ball
kind
that
of
when you kick just kind of looks like curls.
The kind of ball you get on holiday.
Kind of ball you get on holiday.
Dan, let's do some more, because as
You want to talk about yourself at Fringe, don't you?
I say what I tried to do is ask you a question about yourself, but I really was gonna. So I'll ask you another question.
What's going to happen, Matt? You ask me a question, and I will somehow use one of these titles in front of me into the conversation.
'cause-
That's your cue to then be like, "Oh, funny you said that, Dan."
Yeah,
Because
so you can segue back into it.
I'll
Just to clarify to the listener, I gave Dan a list of topics which we've been going through for the last 2 episodes about all my Edinburgh Fringe stories. So, and we've only got a couple left as well. So,
We do.
and also have some, as Dan liked earlier, normal life stories. So, Dan.
so I'm going to put one of these titles into this, and you have to listen out for it, right?
Okay.
Okay,
cool.
yeah. So you just ask me a question.
I'm going to segue into like asking me a question about.
No. What's going to happen is you're going to ask me a question, and in answering that question, I will put one of these titles in that, and then that's your cue to stop me. But like, funny you say that.
Okay,
Dan.
gotcha.
And then you
Awesome.
can, yeah,
And
just so it seems really natural.
yeah, really, even though we explained it twice. So Dan, where's your favourite place you've been on holiday?
Probably probably Rome. Actually, genuinely is probably Rome. I particularly like where I stayed near the Vatican, St. Peter's Basilica. On a Wednesday, you can go to St. Peter's Square, and you can see the Pope, which is weird because when I was there, actually, he was flagellating himself.
Right, it's because I was about to stop you after Pope, but you kept on going. Because one of the topics I wrote down was Pope flagellation, and basically, I ran my vegan comedy gig in the morning, and it starts at 10:30, Dan.
But you didn't do a very good job of making that seem really natural. Let me do it again, and this time you act like it was just off the cuff, like, "Oh, funny you say that, Dan."
It's kind of hard to follow it with natural. Pope flagellating himself.
I was actually, I was quite amazed actually when I was there in the Vatican on that Wednesday. Pope meeting he has in front of all of his devotees. He's actually started doing self-flagellation.
Oh, funny you should mention that, Dan.
Oh, really? Okay.
I actually have a story about that.
Oh, wow! Please do tell.
So in my early morning show at 10:30, which is an ungodly hour for comedy, right?
Yeah.
It's unheard.
10:30 in the morning.
Yes.
Unprecedented.
But what we do is have a vegan breakfast in the morning. It's really nice fun, very chilled out. Coffee morning, nice vibe.
You lost me at vegan breakfast, but continue.
Oh, you love veganism breakfast.
Is Weetabix technically vegan?
It is. If
Then I guess I'm a convert.
if you have almond milk. Was that a gag of excitement?
A gag of excitement.
But and basically we had, if any of the actors are listening, some of my greatest friends did that show, and it was early morning, so I really appreciated everyone who did it. Although there was some acts I've never seen before, and some of them were weird. Some of them did some odd routines. And some of them, because most of them are used to doing routines about quite late at night, so it's quite gross and grim stuff. For example,
you can't do it post-watershed stuff.
Yeah, and doing stuff at really in the morning. So some people are dropping a C-bomb at 11 o'clock, and that's too early.
Cucumber.
Yes, they were
Cumberbund.
They were literally dropping cucumbers.
Croquet.
Yes. Well,
Cunt.
imagine someone on their way to work just I wouldn't imagine that. Oh God, no. Imagine if they had that in loudspeaker and just cumbersome. Oh, this is nice. What you listen to? Miffs, yeah. Cunt. Wow, Jesus Christ. But but there's one act, one of my favourite. Her name's Bella, and she's the cracking new act as well. But she talks about ovulation to a very gruesome degree. And there was one time there's just people eating eggs. She's like,
which is basically a chicken period.
Yes, it is. Yeah, well observed.
Thank you.
Well, eggs served.
I see what you did there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
5-star comedian right here.
Very good. Very
6-star
good.
comedian.
Very good. That's a good yolk. Does that work?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Let's not do chicken puns. We're above that.
Yeah, let's not do chicken puns.
There was one act that literally showed her underboob to people having their
An
breakfast.
underboob?
Yeah, and her catchphrase was
weird thing to show.
Her catchphrase was "Laugh, you cunts." However, I think the king.
And this is all happening at 10:30 a.m.
Yeah, and people kind of waking up to it as well. Because it's quite a weird time to have comedy. Just to preface, these acts did well, and they were very funny. But I'm laughing at the fact that they are doing these kind of sordid routines at this early in the morning as well. But not the worst, but the funniest example is a guy called Pope Lonergan, and he's a guy. He's a comedian, and he works with dementia patients. He does workshops and stuff like that. He's a really lovely guy.
That's really good because you can just do the same jokes over and over again, and they'll never know. That's a good idea. that way he does it?
I'm not sure if we can have that. Dan, that's bad. Wow. But
We can have that in.
yeah, because dementia people won't remember it. Oh, I'm very angry. Why are we angry? And if they do want to listen to it again, I guess
Just gives us all downloads.
Pope's a very nice guy. However, he has quite a rich past in the fact that he has a lot of sexual.
Did he used to be the Pope?
He was not the Pope, but he has this routine about. He does this routine about when he was a kid. He talks about him being quite explicitly sexually and his drug abuse and stuff like that. And he talks about.
He's one of those comedians.
Yeah, well, then again, he's recovered, and he's one of the nicest guys as well. But he was doing this routine, but when he was 6 years old, he accidentally stepped on a cockroach and destroyed all the pregnancy sacs, and he felt really sad. And he was like, "Oh no, what should I do?" And the punchline is, what he did as a 6-year-old child is went upstairs into a bath and anally flagellated himself with a bar of soap. He did that when people were eating at breakfast in the morning. And I had him on.
So wait, why did he put a piece of soap up his ass?
Just because as a 6-year-old he enjoyed that. So, but then, the best segue I've ever heard, he did that routine, and it's like, oh, I also work with people in dementia. No segue whatsoever as well. I was like, what? And one time, I had Pope on twice. He's really good. By the way, if you're a comedy promoter, please book him. He's really excellent. But on the second day, I had him, because I had him for twice in 2 weeks, and it was actually his birthday. I didn't realise. And I went up to him. It's like, actually, one of the actors just did the underboob bit. I was like, she's actually maybe don't do the anal flagellation bit routine. And he's like, all right, mate, yeah, sure, no worries. And then he was on stage, he was smashing it, doing really well. And then he's like, no, Matt specifically not asked me not to do this bit, but I'm going to do it anyway. It was funny. So that's my anal flagellation story.
So he put a bar of soap up his bottom?
Yeah, but really went for it.
Was he like pooing bubbles for quite a few days, or...?
I didn't ask him about that. You can ask him. Anyway, do we have another time for another story?
Okay, let's do the same again. Ask me a question and I'll segue you into it. You've got to...
Have you been shopping recently?
I need to go shopping for new jeans. Now I've ripped these.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
It's weird actually, because I went to... have you been to... have you ever been to Newmarket before?
I haven't.
Okay, have you been to Norwich before?
Yes.
Yeah, because people there marry their cousins. Have you ever been married?
Funny to mention that, Dan. During the first week of the Fringe at the vegan gig, right?
By the way, I've only done that because eventually through Miffs we are gonna have ripped into every single county and area of the world.
Yeah, yeah.
We've done Nottingham, ticked.
Yeah.
Norwich, just did it then, ticked. Yorkshire, pretty much every time we do a podcast, tick.
Essex very soon.
Essex very soon.
And then West Midlands, we're coming for you.
Yeah.
Actually, we also took Mick out of West Midlands during Airbnb Gate. Remember Airbnb lady?
I do remember Airbnb lady.
Oh,
no, in all seriousness, there's a title here on the page that says I got married mid-show. What does that mean?
So, basically, let me tell you this romantic story, Dan. In the first week of the Fringe, during the vegan show, the vegan show during the first week was actually quite quiet. We didn't, for a couple of shows...
The 10:30am one?
Yeah, but in the first couple of shows we had like 2 people. But the 2 people that came were excellent, right? So the whole gig was really, really fun. Like one of them was a spiritualist, and the other one was a vegan chef. I was like, this is so much. This is a personality to fill this whole room, right? So it was really good, and every audience we had was excellent. But on the first week, on the Saturday, we had about the largest number on that first week, right? And we had basically there was this guy and a girl. They met on the tram on the way to the gig, and they started chatting, and they sat next to each other. I was like, oh, her name was Becky, his name was Felix, right? And I said, oh, that sounds like the start to a rom-com. Should we try and get you together? And just like a little preface as well, one of the acts hasn't turned up, so I had to fill for an extra 20 minutes. Okay, so we had 2 acts on. But I was comparing, so I decided to do some material at the end as well. So I had to fill for a bit of time. And Becky wasn't that into Felix. However, I was like, oh, Becky, maybe we should get married. And Becky is one of the nicest and most kind of accepting audience members. So she said, "Yeah, okay then." So what I did is we had our first date in that first comparing bit. Then I brought on the first act, right? And then I wrote her a poem. I made her a Crayola ring, right? And I proposed to her whilst bringing on the second act. You know what I mean? And at the end of it, I had created like a wedding ceremony mid-show. So within the space of 60 minutes, I got married to an audience member. So.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty. It was a really fun show, in all fairness. Although in the next show we did spend a 60-minute divorce, but like
that's fair. An annulment.
Yeah. Well, nothing was.
I don't think it was legally binding.
Well, that being said, I did get. I got someone from the audience to be a vicar to read out the script for us. So I was like, it was very funny. And you can see all the pictures online if you go into Matt Hoss Comedy. See all the pictures there. Very happy picture of me and Becky. You know,
I won't do that, but I'm sure that some people will.
Because they got too much time on their hands.
Matt, shall we segue through a jingle and see you on the other side?
Yeah, let's do it.
Myths.
I'm just going to charge my phone, actually.
Do you mind if I'll continue? Is that all right? That was me. I've just whapped into the second part. Matt loves it when I whap.
No, stop whapping, Dan.
Stop whapping. Sorry, Matt.
Go blind.
I'll go. If you whap too much, you will go blind. So we did the Oresteia last week. We did Agamemnon.
What happened last week?
We did Agamemnon's life.
And how did he die?
He died. Oh, this is important. He died at the hands of his wife Clytemnestra and her new lover Aegisthus, who we're about to find out is actually Agamemnon's cousin. Spoiler alert!
Well, not really a spoiler, is it?
No, not a spoiler. I feel like we probably should have mentioned that last week. We didn't, but now we're telling you. Hey.
Yeah, catch up, guys.
Catch up, guys. Come on. But yeah, this, the next part is, follows in immediately after that, the libation bearers.
We actually, we are going to do both the libation, 2 parts, the next 2 in the series, both in the same episode, aren't we?
The Oresteia is a trilogy. Agamemnon, libation bearers,
and then the
Eumenides. Agamemnon obviously had quite a meaty amount. This it's just easier if they kind of flows through to each other, so it's much easier just to do it all on today's episode.
So here we go.
So Agamemnon, he got murdered in the bath, didn't he, Matt?
Well, he was wrapped in a net.
And then stabbed to death by Clytemnestra and her lover.
Or killed with an axe.
Doesn't matter. Either way, he's dead.
In a bathroom. And Cassandra's dead as well.
Yes. And it's important for this. How many children does Agamemnon still have left?
2. Orestes and Electra.
Orestes and Electra. Some years after the murder of Agamemnon, Clytemnestra, who now shares both her bed and the throne of Argos with her lover, Aegisthus, has a nightmare. She has a nightmare about giving birth to a snake, which then feeds from her breast and draws blood along with milk. Perfectly normal dream. That just a snake suckling on a teat.
Giving birth to a snake. Have you ever? That's like a daily occurrence for us in Yorkshire. Give birth to a snake and let it suck your tit.
Yeah. Concerned with the possible wrath of the gods, she orders her daughter, Electra, who is now reduced to the virtual status of a slave girl, and the chorus of slave women, the libation bearers, to pour libations on Agamemnon's grave as an offering to the gods.
So, there's a lot to kind of catch up there. So, firstly, do we know why Electra is reduced to slave girl status?
I'm not sure why. Is it because she's scared that she will want to take revenge for her father's death?
I think maybe that. Well, I think she kind of sided with her father, or maybe she tried to get Clytemnestra to not do that. But also, Clytemnestra and Aegisthus are a bit kind of crazy with power and love, and they're very manic, if you know what I mean. They're portrayed in this thing as being quite mental, if you know what I mean. So
they've lost the plot a little bit.
So Electra is kind of a slave. Maybe it's a punishment, but also it's to stop her from doing stuff as well. So she's reduced to this state. And do you know what a libation is, Dan?
The libation when you like... I assumed it was like putting flowers and stuff on a tomb or something.
It was a bit more like wine. You pour wine out, if you know what I mean.
Okay. It's like an offering to the dead, but you do it on their grave, right? Or on their tombstone.
But it could be to the gods, if you know what I mean. So you pour it out. It's like...
So she's worried that this dream she had about giving birth to a snake is the gods telling her that she's...
yes.
I mean, we're talking... This is several years after the murder, so it's been a while.
Basically, she thinks it's like... obviously giving birth to a snake because just that's the fruit of her loins is quite dangerous, so
Yeah.
she needs to be wary of this. So that's maybe a reason why she's reduced to slave girl status.
So they've done libations on Agamemnon's grave as an offering to the gods. The chorus of slave women,
Captives from
captives from old wars and loyal to Orestes and Electra, are strongly opposed to Clytemnestra and Aegisthus, and they play a crucial part in examining the unfolding conspiracy.
So let's kind of just talk about.
So a lot of people don't like Clytemnestra.
Yeah, well, yes, they think she's she's unruly, and also if you kill someone for a throne, it's also not very good. Two things. Firstly, Aegisthus. We were going to talk about this. In terms of why he's angry at Agamemnon.
Why is that?
Because
we should do it about how that he's angry because it's his.
First thing of two. Why is Aegisthus angry?
Aegisthus is angry because he's Agamemnon's cousin, and therefore is the son of Thyestes.
Yeah, Thyestes.
Who is the guy who Agamemnon's father... Oh no, Agamemnon and Menelaus killed. They killed their uncle, and so he doesn't like Agamemnon because, he killed his dad.
So that's the reason why he hooked up with Clytemnestra.
And he probably thinks he should be the ruler of the throne.
Yes.
Because his dad was on the throne before Agamemnon and Menelaus came around.
And secondly, when we refer to the chorus in ancient Greek tragedies, like in Oedipus, for example, they would have a chorus at the end of every act to kind of basically sum up what's happened. It's basically
it's like the narrator.
Yes, it is. It's 26. I think it's 26 people, 13 men, 13 women. They kind of singing a certain part, and they kind of act as townspeople or
the ensemble.
Yes, the ensemble. I need to dash up on my facts because that's like my year 10 GCSE kind of classics. But the chorus presents a really important roles in tragedies. So this chorus are the libation bearers, the people who are giving the offering to the gods, and that they are the captives of old wars, etc.
At her father's grave, Electra meets her recently returned brother, Orestes, who had been banished from the kingdom since his infancy by his paranoid mother, and has been living in exile in the nearby kingdom of Phocis. In obedience to a command given to him by the god Apollo, Orestes has returned to Argos to avenge his father. So Orestes is the youngest child of Agamemnon and Clytemnestra, because I'd read earlier that he was very young when his dad went off to the Trojan War, and so he's been banished for quite a while, actually.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, this vengeance, it's in a drought.
Orestes identifies himself with the snake in his mother's dream, and the two siblings plan to avenge their father by killing their mother and Aegisthus, as Apollo himself has commanded them.
So I think we'll be mentioning this throughout, especially in the second part, the latter half of this myth. It's about, think about what's the moral thing to do here. Because Clytemnestra murdered Agamemnon, which I think it is unholy act. However, we see Clytemnestra being pious all the way through. She's doing the libation offerings on Agamemnon.
Only because she's had a dream.
Yes, but even so, she's pious. If not, she's still looking after the gods and stuff like that. So it's interesting. The point is, who is the correct person here? Like, is Clytemnestra morally okay? Is it okay to try and get vengeance on her? Morally, what's a good thing to do? This could scale very highly.
And we know their family's cursed.
Yes, in the House of Pelops.
The House of Pelops, yeah.
Anyway.
Orestes and his childhood friend Pleiades pretend to be ordinary travellers from Phocis, asking for hospitality at the palace of Argos. They bring the false news that Orestes is dead and gain entrance to the palace.
Ooh, so already disguised.
They're disguised.
So, I like this already because
if he was a young boy when he got banished, it's now been quite a few years. She wouldn't actually know what her son looked like.
Well, Facebook friends.
Facebook, that's true.
But but then again, I think Orestes is actually quite a clever fellow, and I think he's just playing very safe, because if he lets loose that he is this guy, and also you're already getting on the good side of Clytemnestra, because you're proving that prophecy isn't true.
Yeah. Orestes' old nurse,
Cilicia,
is dispatched to fetch Aegisthus to see the visitors, and the chorus persuades her to ensure that he comes alone, so that Orestes easily overpowers and kills him.
Wow, that's immediate.
Straight in the trout, bang. He's dead.
He's been trouted.
So his second cousin, I guess, is a good thing. Anyway, his mother's lover
Mother's lover.
has opened the door, been like, "What do you want?" Oh God!
I'm having sex with Clytemnestra. What do you want? Oh, it's my mum.
Yeah. So immediately one's down.
Yeah, I thought, to be honest, this was way more poetic, because this is very, very straightforward, isn't it? So,
Although his cover is now blown,
yeah.
Orestes, in haste I guess, seizes his mother Clytemnestra and threatens to kill her. She warns Orestes that if he kills her, he will be cursed, but Orestes is not swayed and, persuaded to the task by Apollo and Pleiades, despite his misgivings, he kills her. So he's killed Clytemnestra, his mother.
His own mother. Okay, so from my recollection, now obviously in the play it's far more grandiose, and this obviously takes 3 hours. But it's interesting because I think with Orestes, this is very a watered down plot here. But my point is that I think Electra also tried to help Orestes as well, because the part of the play is about Orestes being like in disguise, trying to get in touch with Electra.
Well, Electra, obviously, they did say that the two of them helped each other. The siblings have helped each other.
I think Electra helps him kind of infiltrate the palace, but ultimately,
once he's in the palace, he doesn't take long.
Yeah, he. But you know what? I wish more Greek heroes were like Orestes, because Jason, he was like, "Oh, I want to overtake the throne." He's like, "Well, can you go on a task for like 20 years?" He's like, "Okay then," and then he doesn't even get the throne. At the end, you know what I mean? Just like Orestes, like, "Yeah, you're dead. Fuck off."
I've come here for one job, 10 minutes, bish bash bosh. Thank you very much. He's also quite good that other Greek heroes we've listened to in other myths would have been persuaded by her, being like, "You'll be cursed." He was just like, "I've heard this BS before." Yeah.
I'm a snake, bitch. Yeah.
I know it's his mother, but I don't think there's a particularly maternal thing going on there. If he has been banished from a young age on an island, he's probably not got
the best feelings.
Yeah, he hasn't been raised by her, has he?
No, and she seems quite, at this point, quite manic anyway. So, So, is it okay that he murdered his mum? What do you think, Dan?
I think it was okay in the sense that if he's trying to rescue Electra from her being a slave or anything like that, and maybe he knows that the kingdom's going down, but to just kill her because
to avenge
is a bit weird, because I mean he was on an island, he wasn't hurt. I mean, there's no immediate danger to him. He was long gone.
But I think he wanted, as an honour-bound thing, he wanted to help because his father was killed in cold blood.
Yeah.
Despite how immoral his father was.
I was going to say, Dad wasn't exactly, Agamemnon wasn't exactly the nicest guy in the world.
And he did kill Iphigenia as well.
Yeah.
So, this is what I mean. It's all a tangled up mess of who is the morally correct.
Yes. He proclaims that justice has been served and tries to justify his actions. But then, the Erinyes, the Furies, appear, visible only to Orestes, and curse him for killing his mother, for them a crime far more significant than Clytemnestra's own crime in killing her husband. So, the Furies.
Yes, who are the Furies?
The Erinyes. The Erinyes.
Also known as the Eumenides.
Okay, so the Furies are, they come up a bit in mythology.
Yes.
They are winged, I've got a description here. They are winged spirits with their hair entwined with snakes. They hold whips or torches in their hands. They tortured victims and sent them mad. They lived in Erebus, at the darkest pit of the underworld. Yeah. So they're from Mount Erebus in the underworld, and they are the judge, jury, and executioner of the underworld. They're like a court almost, aren't they?
Well, kind of.
They decide who's good and who's bad.
Yes, in a very layman's sense, but they're used as to kind of they're kind of manifestation of guilt, I guess, because they are used as to kind of plague people's thoughts, and they throw guilt on people, they whip them, and they mentally kind of savage them. If you know
it says their essential function is to avenge crime, particularly offences against the family.
Yeah,
i.e., these bad boys. There's 3 of them, by the way. There's 3 Furies.
Yes.
Like it's almost like the 3 witches of Macbeth, aren't they? It's like
yeah. Well, I can kind of see the iterations.
I'm thinking like the 3 weird women, like
like what? Sorry. We are the Furies.
We are the Furies. That's obviously how they sound. Orestes has been a naughty boy. Orestes has been a naughty boy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they arrive and they're only visible to him, and they curse him for killing his mother. So can I just say, the Furies are already saying that it is worse for him to have killed his mother than his mother killing his dad.
That seems like favoritism to me. It seems a bit. I don't know. I'm kind of pro Orestes here.
Anyway, seized with madness over his deeds and haunted and pursued by the Furies, Orestes flees Argos.
And is that the end of the libation burial?
That's the end of that part.
So, and the next part is about kind of dealing with all those.
What had just happened.
Yeah,
basically.
essentially. Dan, with that impression of the Furies, can you just do it again for us?
Ah!
Do you reckon they know Brian the Eagle?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Well, how's it going? He's a parrot now, apparently.
Well, they all live in the underworld, don't they?
Yeah.
So they are
Do you reckon
friends.
they're colleagues? So that they clock in at the same time, like, well, how's it going?
Morning!
What are you going to be doing today, Furies?
Probably going to Orestes.
Oh, well, I'm going to go to Prometheus.
You always go to Prometheus.
It's not my fault, is it, mate? I have to do this every single day. You can have fun. You get to go to different places.
I've eaten his liver every goddamn day. You get to fly around
I'm vegetarian.
Greece. Yeah. You get to fly around the world, picking on people that murder their family. It's a fun job.
Get to work with friends. Ooh, well, you get to work with Derek the Woodpecker. Derek can fuck off. That's a nice little reference. If people listen to this in the wrong order, well, even if you listen to the right order, it's still very niche.
So, what is going to happen to Orestes? Where is he? What's he going to do?
Well, let's find out, Dan. Still tormented by the Erinyes after killing his mother, Orestes finds temporary refuge at the new temple of Apollo in Delphi. As this play begins, Pythia, Apollo's priestess, enters the temple and is shocked by a scene of horror and wonder when she finds the exhausted Orestes in a suppliant's chair, surrounded by sleeping Furies. So
she can see them too.
Yeah, which is an odd thing. She knows it's real as well. I say the Furies are obviously. It's metaphor, isn't it? Although Apollo cannot protect him from the Erinyes, he has managed to at least delay them with a sleeping spell, so that Orestes can continue on to Athens under the protection of Hermes. Now, can I just make an observation which my my class teacher made up? So do you know? So in the first Agamemnon, it's a kind of straightforward tragedy, human brutality. Libation bearers, again, human tragedy, murder, murder, murder. And this one, very fantastical. Lots of monsters, lots of things happening.
Yes.
Right? So, in this trilogy, 1, 2, 3, it's a lot like Godfather, if you know what I mean. It's like, the first one's quite straightforward, the second one, straightforward, third one's weird, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think that's a good way to kind of see it.
It feels like the madness is like taking its toll on the family.
Well, it's more to do with, like, it has fantasy elements where it's kind of not quite... Yeah, it's unprecedented, if you know what I mean. But then again, I think it also shows a different depth to it. It's not just in this portion of the trilogy we see more than just murder. It's
see more
about
like
the
mythos
consequence,
and
and like it's a patriotic ending as well. However, Clytemnestra's ghost rouses the sleeping Erinyes and urges them to continue hunting Orestes. Imagine you have a mum like who is so bitter towards you, just be like,
her ghost comes out.
Yeah. Oh, imagine that, mate.
So she's goading the Furies to continue.
Yeah. The Erinyes track down Orestes by following the scent of his slain mother's blood through the forest and then through the streets of Athens. When they see him, they can even see rivulets of blood soaking the earth beneath his footsteps. But hasn't he been gone for a while? How is he still wet from her blood?
Yeah, that's true. I'm assuming this has literally happened, like, following on straight from him running out of the temple.
But he didn't murder in the temple.
No, but he's run to the temple covered in her blood from murdering her.
But I don't think... I think he flees Argos, right?
That's
and he
true.
goes to Delphi.
Yeah, he must have been... He's probably dried a little bit.
Yeah, but it's not like... Even if he was soaked in her blood, the boat to Delphi, that's
It's
gonna...
dried, yeah.
There's no way that... Like, even if you're on an Aegean boat, that's going to be... That's you're still going to be waiting 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's true. But maybe they can still smell the blood, the dried blood on him.
Or maybe it's just, again, a metaphor for him.
Yeah.
For him...
His luggage.
Emotional luggage. Finally, surrounded by the threatening Furies, Orestes begs Athena for help. The goddess of justice intervenes and brings in a jury of 12 Athenians to judge Orestes. So this is a court process, you know.
Yes.
It's a genuine. This is going to be important. Athena herself presides over the trial, and instructing her citizens to watch and learn how a trial should be conducted. Apollo speaks on behalf of Orestes. He's like the defense lawyer.
Yeah.
He's like David Rudolph. Respect. Follows me on Twitter.
You know what's coming.
Apollo speaks on behalf of Orestes, while the Erinyes act as advocates for the dead Clytemnestra. So it's literally like a prosecution case, you know?
Yeah, it's like they're literally like we're inventing the court system here. We're inventing the judicial system.
Can we have like a quick mock trial as for Orestes?
Okay, go on.
Do you want to be prosecution or defence?
I'll be prosecution.
Okay, I'll be defence.
Okay.
I'm pro Orestes. So, do you want to? I'll start. Your Honour, welcome to the jury. I am Apollo, and my client Orestes, he was doing nothing wrong. He was clearly avenging his father, who was killed in cold blood, and on top of that, protecting his sister Electra. He shouldn't be judged harshly for this. If anything, he should be crowned king of the place Argos. He should be king of this place because he's a fine judge of character. He's strong, and also on top of that, he can deal with Erinyes as well. So I think he deserves. And Clytemnestra was manic, so she needed to be put down. He was doing the safe thing, so I rest my case. And also, where's the proof? No proof.
The proof is all over his shirt! He's covered in the fucking blood! There was multiple witnesses at the palace. He was even heard screaming, "I'm Orestes! Don't follow me, bitches!"
Well, that was, in all fairness, a CCTV there. Yeah, that was regrettable. However, my client apologised for that, but, you know,
Oh, good for him!
sounds, and so, I tried to do like a nice actual play, you were like, no!
And the Furies, the Furies were his prosecution. They're going to be like that, aren't they?
But I'm Apollo, I'm the god of light, so...
That's pretty cool.
So, who do you think won that battle? Why don't you email in at miffspodcast@gmail.com, and who would you vote for? Orestes or Arrested? Come on, mate, that was good.
That was good.
Oh, God, I need to be paid for this. So, when the trial votes are counted, the voting is equal, but Athena persuades the Erinyes to accept their own decision in favour of Orestes as a casting vote. What? Hey, you know that prosecution case you made? Can you go against yourself? But, you know, if it's a hung jury, it might...
A hung jury.
Vindicated, Orestes thanks Athena and the people of Athens and leaves to go home to Argos, a free man and the rightful king. Athena then proclaims the furious Erinyes, renaming them the Eumenides, or the kindly ones, and rulings that they will now be honoured by the citizens of Athens. Athena also declares that henceforth hung juries also should always result in the defendant being acquitted, as mercy should always take precedence over harshness.
Wow. So this is a myth.
She watched The Staircase recently, that's why.
That's incredible. So this myth actually is very interesting, and also just serves to explain why they have a judicial system.
Yes, exactly.
Basically.
And it's, again, it's one...
What happened before they had...
Yeah, and it explains the reason why they have it, and why it's important to have that democracy as well.
So he becomes king. The family name is restored.
It's a bit weird, though. Imagine being convicted, and then now he's king. Well, I guess that's happened to quite a lot of people.
Yeah. Does this end the curse, or is the curse still a thing upon his house?
No, I think it's still a thing, but I think he's been fairly tried. But I think, is it really a fair trial if Athena literally bribes them, and then they get angry, and then she bribes them to become the kindly ones? So, is that really a good message?
Not really, I was thinking that. It shows what you can do if you bribe someone.
Well, that's sad. However, why don't we rank this mother? All right, Dan. Did you enjoy the Oresteia?
I did. It's sad though, because I feel like this also concludes all of the Trojan stuff as well. Like, we're kind of done with the family.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess. Is there more Trojan stuff?
These characters will appear.
Yes, I think these characters will appear in the future. I think, especially Menelaus's. But most of the Trojan stuff is done now, really. Well, the Iliad stuff is done. There is more with Odysseus, but we'll get to that in the future. That's a project and a half, so we'll get to that eventually. But at the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this series, but I certainly have. So Daniel, we judge this from 4 categories: life skills, morals, creativity, and WTF. So how are we going to rank these out of 10? Life skills.
Life skills.
So practical things we learned.
Practical things we learn.
Learn how to have a jury.
Learn how to have a jury.
Yeah.
Learn how the judicial system works.
Learn about defence and prosecution.
Learn how to disguise yourself.
Yes. Learn how to kill your mum.
Learn how to
lover.
do libations.
Yes. We'll learn what chorus is.
What choruses?
We
learn how to stab people.
We learn that don't reduce. Well, no, that's some.
We learn how to suckle a snake.
Well, I already knew that, but we're not a lot. We'll learn how to haunt someone.
Learn how to haunt someone.
Learn how to
get rid of the Furies.
How to wake them
Put
up
them
as
to
well.
sleep.
I think that. Oh, how to run through the streets or track someone.
Track someone's blood. Yeah.
Not that much else.
No. Probably a 4 or 5, to be honest.
I'm tempted 5 because there's a lot of murder. But what do you reckon?
Yeah, let's do 5. It's down the middle, isn't it? Average. Bang average, 5.
But is it? Is it a 4?
Let's give it a benefit of doubt. Go on,
Okay,
give it
cool.
a 5.
Morals. So I think quite big on morals here. Basically, don't kill your mum. Don't reduce your daughter to a slave girl. Don't hang out with Agisthus, that's a cousin lover. I don't. If someone's obviously in disguise, just triple check they're the right person. If you know what I mean. I guess it's about morality here. It's about doing the right thing. Is it okay to kill someone if they've killed someone against you? Is it okay to take an eye for an eye? And in this case, I suppose it is. But I think also it's a bit messy in terms of the ending, in terms of the message. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also, I think it's more than just Orestes. It doesn't end with Orestes being killed. It's not a chain. They stop the chain of murder. They also make it into a genuine thing. A good thing has come out of it. If you know what I mean.
It was also morally good in terms of the fact that the whole hung jury stuff, how you get benefit of the doubt. Yeah.
But again, not too much else.
What do you think?
Maybe 5.
I'll give it a 5. Yeah. It's quite an average one.
Creativity.
It's quite creative.
Again, I like the Godfather aspect of it. I think murder, and then thoughtfulness as well.
Well, he's being disguised. That's pretty creative.
Yeah.
The Furies are pretty creative. Her ghost coming back is pretty creative. Apollo being at the court is quite creative.
Athena.
Electra being a slave girl is quite creative.
The fact that she renamed it Eumenides.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 7. Oh, 6.
6.
6. WTF. Murdering mum, slave girl, the Furies. I guess the fact they had to have a court case is
There's nothing particularly messed up there.
Blood in the
only
streets.
weird thing was the fact that the snake suckling the boobs.
Yes,
was a bit weird.
yeah, and also the fact that there's blood dropping off him, even though she's been dead for years.
Yeah, that's a bit messed up.
But not weird. I think it's below average here.
Yeah.
Maybe a 3 or 4.
I think a 3 or 4. Do we get a 4 benefit of the doubt?
I think we already gave it a lot of benefit to the doubt. Let's really think about this here, because I think compared to other things,
it's probably a 3, isn't it?
I think it's not crazy, is
No,
it?
I
And the
think
fact
a
that
3.
if it ends in a court case, it's not like WTF.
Yeah, exactly. I think a 3.
3.
I'm putting down a 3.
Wow, this has not been a big scorer. So 5 for life skills, 5 for morals, 6 for creativity, and 3 for WTF.
19, Matt.
19. It's fine. It's alright.
It's the lowest we've had in a while, actually.
Yeah. Well, Daniel, what a lovely end to the Troy series and the Oresteia. Thank you for being my good little partner during it.
Thank you, Matt. I look forward to the next myth.
What is the next myth, Dan?
Got to decide, haven't we, Matt?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Right, we've lost now.
Hey, if you have any suggestions of what we should do, why don't you go into your little computer, open up your mail account, stick in misspodcast@gmail.com and send us an email.
Or tweet us at misspodcast.
Or go into the Facebook page, which no one really does, and give us a like on there. And also, I've got a lot of gigs happening at the moment up and down the country. I do a lot of festivals and lots of vegan shows as well. So why don't you come along and see me there as well? because Dan will probably be there.
What website should they use if they want to find out when your tours are?
Matt Hoss Comedy, and go into the gigs bit. Or if you're interested in vegan shows, just go straight there. I do a lot of festivals, so do check me out. And yeah, also, when you've done all that, when you've bought tickets for every single one of my shows, even if you don't turn up, that's fine. Why don't you go into iTunes and give us
1 to 5 stars.
Nope.
2 to 5 stars.
No.
3 stars.
No.
4 stars.
No.
Give me a clue.
It's not 6 stars.
7 stars.
Give us 7 stars on iTunes, please. If not, 5 will do.
5 will do. Yeah, fine.
Yeah, but just to clarify, don't give us anything less than 5 stars. Give us 5 stars, because if you like it at this point and you haven't given us 5 stars, you know, we're giving you 37 hours of entertainment for free. So why don't you give us a 5-star review? That's all. The least you can do. So Dan, any parting messages?
I would like to say thank you.
Dan, any animal facts you want to drop?
Give me an animal, I'll tell you a fact.
Baboons.
Baboons.
What is the wingspan of a baboon?
Baboons.
This isn't the most electric.
No, I wanted to tell you what. My only fact is what isn't it called a troop of baboons? Is what you call a group of baboons?
Ah.
A troop, I think. I think you call them a troop of baboons. Yeah, you do, don't you? Yeah. The more I say it, the more I think that's true. A troop.
This is how fake news starts.
Yeah, it is.
Dan,
I think it's a troop.
why do people listen to this podcast?
And male baboons have a big, colourful bottom.
Like, it's always a colourful form when you're doing with it, Dan.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for being a legend. See you on the other side. Bye.
Bye.
Myths, 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 myths.